What's cracking, everybody? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon GO Battle League content. Today's video, we're taking a look at another strong team in the Great League. This time, this trainer went 15-0 before taking a single loss with this team. Greninja sweeping souls out here in the Open Great League. With the Shadow Venusaur on the lead and Shadow Regirock in the back, I promise that the amount of Shadow Venusaur in the videos this week was not planned. It's a complete coincidence, but take it as a sign that Shadow Venusaur is cracked. So, let's get into these battles here with T-Dubs is cracked, and trainers. Going to be a good ride. Let's go. All right, getting into the first battle, we got the Dream lead with Shadow Swampert, getting into the opponent having a Wheezing in the back. Okay. Galarian Wheezing, interesting. I don't see too many of these in the Great League. I love them in the Ultra League, but in the Great League, I don't see them nearly as often. But they are still very fun to use. Very, very good anti-grass option here, as that is one of the main issues that Swampert's going to have. So, the opponent puts up a shield to block the Shadow Sludge Bomb, and now the opponent throws Sludge. I think they just threw right away there. Or perhaps they're running Sludge Overheat. Typically, I see them with Brutal Swing and Play Rough, or something of the sort. Maybe or Overheat in there. But they are running the Overheat, which now drops the attack, and that allows the Regirock to overfarm here. Get a Shadow Stone Edge off. That's going to do a ton of damage. I have a feeling I'm going to be hitting that button a lot in this video. Opponent comes in with the Swampert. Are they willing to give up a second shield here? We're going to find out. That's going to do a lot of damage if they don't, dude. Opponent does decide to give up that final shield, and this sets up Greninja for a perfect situation for a 2-shield potential sweep here. Getting denied on the entry here. Unfortunately, one turn lag, taking away that fast move. Sludge Wave! Oh my goodness, dude! That hurts so much. But it's okay because Greninja can simply shield one move here, and one Hydro Cannon is more than enough to KO a Swampert from this range. But T-Dub's going for more energy and then going for Night Slash. I would have definitely gone for the Hydro Cannon here for the for sure knockout. But okay, I guess he knows it KOs and we get the Night Slash boost. Couldn't have asked for a better option here. Almost knocking out the Charge Bug from full HP. The opponent not able to farm down, and that's going to be a good game. Getting into the next battle, Venusaur in the lead versus Gligar. This is kind of awkward because Regirock doesn't really appreciate this too much, but Greninja certainly doesn't mind it. So going for the catch, and catches an Aerial Ace on the Regirock. That's a good start to the game here, saving some energy on the Venusaur, as well as having that energy completely depleted from the opponent now. Going for the Stone Edge here, just as the opponent's about to reach that dig. Very nice move counting here by T-Dubs, and the opponent decides to shield and then comes in with a Vigoroth. The opponent now gonna have to shield again against the Focus Blast unless they want to lose their Vigoroth, and that's not a good sign. Vigoroth getting the second shield here. The opponent in shambles with no shields here. Greninja once again poised to do the sweep it's always meant to do. Shadow Venusaur doesn't need to shield anything here, at least not at first. The second move definitely, but going for that Frenzy Plant right away. Looks like they even won CMP as well to be able to hopefully get rid of the Vigoroth. Now the opponent is low. Do we going for the risky? Gonna go for the Greninja sweep with 2 shields here. I don't mind it. I always love a good Greninja sweep. So let's see. 2 Water Shurikens and 2 shields. Let's see. Opponent comes in with a Gligar to try and get the opponent, or try and get this Greninja to shield. They go for the Aerial Ace here, but Greninja can go for a couple more and go for the move. There's a Swampert in the back. Pairs very well with Gligar here. Don't hate this, but now the opponent gonna get taken out here. Almost. Oh, they get to the move, but now you gotta do a shield farm down. You got a Hydro Cannon for the Gligar, and that's gonna knock it all the way down to 0 HP, even has back-to-back moves, just in case one's not enough. But who are we kidding? Hydro Cannon is going to one-shot this Gligar. Let's go. Boom! Love to see it. Getting into the next battle here, we got Venusaur on the lead versus a Pelipper. Very awkward lead here for the Regirock once again. Some of these flyers in this open league do not really, you know, they kind of core break the Regirock Venusaur when they have that coverage. But in comes a Galarian Stunfisk, and this Focus Blast is piped and ready. The opponent shielding up here, and honestly, they outpaced these Focus Blasts because of the energy lead from that Pelipper. So going for the Earthquake, you definitely outpaced the second move. It's the opponent willing to give up both shields here. I don't even know if a Focus Blast will one-shot from a Regirock. A Shadow Regirock probably. It might. I don't know, man, but this is close. Maybe. Oh, yeah, we save shield advantage for Greninja, and the opponent goes for a cheeky bait. The Master Bait Session. The master of all baits. Going for another Rock Slide here. That leaves one shield for the Greninja or the Venusaur. One of the two is going to have a great time here. The opponent going for a Rock Slide. I think you just let this go. This is not, I don't think it's enough for an Earthquake. Yeah, lets it go. Very, very good call here to let this go. Going for more energy. The Hydro Cannon's going to definitely knock out from this range here, and that's going to be curtains for this Galarian Stunfisk. Taking it out here. Oh, they have an Electrode. Excuse me, what? What is that doing here? Spicy. I love it. Opponent does not like Whiscash. They don't like Lantern, and they don't like Skarmory. Woo, dude, the damage on that Frenzy Plant, the opponent just knows it's over. Good game. Getting to the next battle, Venusaur on the lead versus another Gligar. Probably going to try the same thing here as it worked pretty well last time. Going to go for that catch on the Regirock, but the opponent doesn't fall for it this time. And now T-Dubs is going to go up to the Stone Edge and no shield. Is this a bait or is this an actual dig? Opponent does full send the dig, does a ton of damage, and they're staying in, meaning they may have an answer in the back to the Venusaur, or they don't have an answer in the back to this Regirock. Opponent going to stay in here, going for an Aerial Ace, and I don't think that, yeah, this is going to KO, but they don't want to really worry about this. This is fine. You got shield advantage. You have nearly a move on the Venusaur. Greninja's chilling. It can come in and get some farm going here. You even get to a move pretty quickly here with these Water Shurikens. Are ridiculously quick. That's what made Greninja so good in the first place. Shielding up that dig, and the opponent has a Lucario in the back. Love to see the Aura Pokemon in action here, but unfortunately, they're just going to get clapped by these Water Shurikens and Hydro Cannons, and now it's even shields. The opponent has a Whiscash in the back, going for the back-to-back Hydro Cannons. One's going to get the shield, and the other one's going to clap the Cash Daddy, and we're so close to a Frenzy Plant on the Venusaur that I reckon that this is probably a good game here, as the opponent will basically need to shield this move here. Looking to undercharge here just to make sure that if the opponent does let it go, that this Venusaur can come in and start getting some farm. But the opponent does shield, the Mud Bomb is reached, and able to get to another Mud Bomb, but I don't think the opponent's Gligar's on a move, so this is easily a CMP win, even if it was. And the opponent gonna get mashed by this Frenzy Plant. That's gonna do a ton of damage, and we're gonna get the button going right now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this team is full of them, dude. I love it. Picking up a nice 5-0 set. I'm telling you, dude, he went 15-0. This team was crazy for this trainer. Getting into the 2300 elo range, getting back into the battles here. Venusaur on the lead versus another Swampert. Once again, you love to see it. Swampert getting feasted on. Opponent's got a Toxapex. This is actually kind of tricky here. Regirock doesn't do too badly here because it resists the poison damage from the fast moves, and also doesn't really take too much damage from a single brine, but it also outpaces with the Stone Edge, so that's nice. But you have to worry about those brines adding up. One brine is gonna do, you know, it's chip damage for sure, about half or so, but two brines you have to start putting up shields. So this is not a good matchup for Registeel to be in for too long here. But we're able to get to a Focus Blast because of the overfarm here from the Regirock before throwing that Stone Edge. Very good thing to be practicing, trainers, is knowing when you can overfarm on these Pokemon. And hello, they just let it go. Greninja comes in, and there's a Mandibuzz with Snarl in the back, coming in immediately here with his Greninja. I don't know who wins the twos here, but I'm pretty sure it's Greninja, because not only do you outpace, but your moves do way, way, way more damage per move, and it just outpace, out damage. It's a good situation for Greninja to be in, as this Mandibuzz now reaches its second Aerial Ace of the matchup. Hydro Cannon's coming through. The opponent basically, they can't take one more Hydro Cannon. Essentially, as soon as they do, they're pretty much cooked. So, and Greninja just needs to get to 2 more Hydro Cannons and completely knock this bird out of the sky. And I don't know about y'all, but Mandibuzz is insanely bulky and very frustrating to deal with sometimes. So, always good to see one get knocked out when you're not using it, because it's obnoxious sometimes. But it's a very good Pokemon to have, but the opponent Swampert comes back in and they concede. That's a good game. All right, getting into the next battle here. We are going to have Venusaur on the lead against a... Here it comes. Quagsire. Dude, all the Mud Boy leads out here today. Where are they at? Mantine's going to come in. Mantine does outpace to the Aerial Ace, trying to catch the move here. Unfortunately, not going to be able to. But unless the opponent's rocking Bubble Beam, they do not have any super effective damage. And, of course, they're running Bubble Beam. Why not? We love Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam is, it's such an obnoxious move. It really is. Opponent shields. They're probably going to try to go for 2 shields and Bubble Beams here. And honestly, Regirock is totally fine to just eat these Bubble Beams, because they may add up after a little while, but they ain't really doing much. And the wing attacks from Mantine also resisted. Not really worried about those. Could easily hit 2 Stone Edges off here before. And I may not KO anymore because of all those debuffs, but they sure do leave Venusaur or Greninja in a really strong position to have shield advantage in this game here. So the opponent is going to have to shield in order to get shield advantage here, or switch advantage. And they do, and instead they just swap in the Quagsire to try and get the snipe. And they're just sacrificing Quagsire to the God Arceus himself. I don't know. But you have to imagine whatever they have in the back maybe is a good answer to Venusaur. I'm not sure. Oh goodness, it's Bastiodon. No, that is not a good answer to Venusaur. That is a Bastiodon. Trainer, you are about to have a very bad time here, unfortunately. As Bastiodon gonna go down to not only the Frenzy Plant, but this Hydro Cannon's gonna KO as well. Not going for the 2 shield flex in this game. Definitely could have, though. That Stone Edge isn't gonna knock out. But you have to get to 2 Hydro Cannons, or at least 2 moves in general to be able to knock out this Mantine. The opponent gonna try to make a catch here, but ultimately it doesn't matter because a Hydro Cannon also KOs from this range, and Bastiodon getting slapped, and we're gonna hit the button because I love getting Bastiodon on here. Even though it did no damage because the opponent conceded. Good game. Next game, we got Viggy in the lead against our Venusaur, and the opponent is staying in here. Now, Venusaur into Vigoroth is a very neutral matchup because the opponent can get the body slam off, but that Shadow on Venusaur is really what makes this matchup a little more difficult for it. Because of the fact that the body slam does so much damage, those counters add up very quickly, and because the Venusaur gets outpaced so badly. So saving the energy instead, the opponent safe swaps in Alolan Marowak, and Regirock comes in to greet it. T-Dubs is probably making a read here that the opponent may have another fire type in the back, as a safe swap Alolan Marowak may very well mean that there's maybe a Skeleturge back. Also, can't forget the button here. Going for either a Rock Slide or the Body Slam here. Opponent goes for the Resisted Body Slam, which means that this Stone Edge is going to connect or take a shield from this Vigoroth, and that's a dangerous situation. Once again, we've seen it many times already. Folks, that absolutely claps the cheekies off of that Vigoroth, and in comes Greninja, and there's definitely a fire back there. Good game. Getting into the next battle here, Venusaur against an Annihilape. Another positive matchup for the Venusaur because you're resisting those counters. Opponent has a Dugong, and they safe swap in with it, and we're going to see now the Regirock, rather. I was almost going to say Registeel. Regirock now comes in and is going to take this Icy Wind on the chin and go for the Focus Blast directly. The opponent, already having debuffed, may not want to shield a move here, but Focus Blast one-shots goodbye. And in comes Annihilape, and unfortunately Annihilape does wall the moveset of the Regirock, but even a resisted Shadow Stone Edge, even though debuffed, it's probably going to hurt quite a bit here. So yeah, it does some decent chunk chip damage. Venusaur is going to come in here and be able to get to this Frenzy Plant before the opponent is able to launch what I would expect to be an Ice Punch here, and they shield it up. Now, Venusaur, you kind of has to stay in here and shield up because we cannot let this Annihilape see the Greninja, but we do now know that the Annihilape has Night Slash and not Ice Punch, so you can safely no-shield this if they didn't build up to the Shadow Ball. The opponent probably now is going to let this go and save a shield for whatever they have in the back and hope that it can tangle with Greninja, but it can't. Yes, it can. Wait a minute, that's a Shadow Zapdos in the back. Trainer, that is not healthy for your Greninja, trainer. That is going to hurt. But Night Slash not going to get shielded. The Zapdos not bothering to shield anything. Probably could have gotten away with it if they had tried to, if it weren't for these meddling water shurikens here. But if y'all get that reference, let me know in the comments, you old geezers. Going to go for the farm down with the Venusaur. That's a good game. Getting into the next battle here, we got Venusaur on the lead versus Whis Daddy Cash Money. And that's it. That's it. That's it. That's the game, dude. Sableye gets outpaced by the Venus. Well, it gets outpaced. They have the same pacing, but because they swapped in, they get... Bro, this is it. This game, this is over, dude. This is destruction. Shadow Venusaur in these games is destruction. There is no coming back. Everything is just gone. Scald doing a lot of damage and getting the debuff, but this Focus Blast still going to put the pain on the Whiscash here, and that is going to bring it very low. The opponent now is going to have whatever's in the back versus Venusaur and Greninja, and leaving 2 shields for the Greninja here to sweep. Let's see what the opponent's got in the back. If it's a Skarmory, they're looking really good here. No, the opponent has a Charge Bug. Now this is very dangerous here, as Greninja, you know, Electric is not exactly its best friend, but it does have some nice pacing here, so... letting this go. Ooh, okay, no, we're going for the shield here. Okay, I think letting that go might have been the play, but going for the Frenzy Plant before these Volt Switches can take out. Greninja now just needs to get the 2 moves here. We're going to see if it can do that. And it should hopefully be able to, if not, get this Charge Bug extremely low. Now, the problem here is, oh, the opponent goes for the Discharge. That's huge because it's now an extra fast move to get to the next charge move for this Charge Bug. You definitely want to go for X-Scissor in this matchup because it does a lot of damage. I don't know, maybe they're not running X-Scissor. I wasn't paying attention, dude. I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at the beautiful shiny Shadow Venusaur in front of me here, dude. But anyway, picking up another 5-0, I believe. I think that is the last game. Yes, it is. Picking up a 5-0. This team went 15-0, dude. I mean, if you don't have a Shadow Regirock, I reckon a regular one works. You could even use something like Lickitung. And there's a bunch of different stuff you could use. You just want to put a Fighting Lure out there, something that's able to beat, something that's able to cover Venusaur to a degree, while also drawing out a fighter so that Greninja doesn't have to deal with the Annihilape or something later. So that's going to do it for me for today, folks. Thank you very much. We're going to catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.